Tervetuloa seuraamaan Maailmankuvia-sarjaa. Tänään meillä on vieraana Remi Kanai. Hän on japanilainen meedio-parantaja ja Ykseys-instituutin perustaja. Tänään meillä on tarkoituksena keskustella nimenomaan ykseydestä ja tätä nauhoitusta tehdään Kopparnäsin mahtavilla kalliorannoilla. Seuraava keskustelu tullaan käymään englannin kielellä. Welcome, Remi, to the Finland and to the Kopparnäs.
Thank you.
This conversation is all about Oneness, and you are a founder of this Oneness Institute. So how would you define Oneness when you think that thing in your point of view? How do you define?
The oneness is all that is, and I have to probably use one day to explain all, like a whole order or whole system of oneness. But if I say it briefly,
Yes.
then that would be there is a source and there is a one energy, and from this source, the consciousness comes out from this source, or energy comes out from the source. So this has the same energy that the source has. So with this free will and the power of creation, it comes out from the source. So it's divided from the source and it's separated. And then this fragment, so to speak, it's a collective consciousness, and this also can create some other fragment. And division after division, they are all like separated from the source and come out from the origin and go for journey, and they exist. So each fragment has got its free will and the power of creation from the source. So all those division comes after division. It makes the oneness. So it's a whole system. It includes everything that exists. So okay, let's say the source is a light, complete light or absolute light. Energy, and light is energy. So this is energy and this is the source. And when it's divided after divided, it doesn't feel near to the source anymore, but still it's light, a fragment of light. So here we are on the earth, we live our physical life, but we are all spiritual beings who become embodiment in physical bodies. So we are very everyone is a spiritual being and has got body outside. So this sense, everyone is spiritual, and everyone is spirit, and everyone is energy. And when a spirit wants to be incarnated and to learn more, to do something, have a purpose of doing or learning on the earth, this spirit decides to be like born on the earth. So our life starts. So we are spirit who lives forever and learn on the earth in many incarnations. So what is this for? Is to ascend our vibration and integrate it more and more so that they can go back to the source. So this division is called descension. So we descend in our vibration and become more fragment, more individual, or more separated. So this is a return journey now that we are on. We can go up and up, integrated, so that we become one more, and then we become even larger one, and finally, ultimately, we will become one with the source. So this is descending journey, and this is ascending journey.
Yes.
So this is a oneness, and this is descension. This part is descension, and this journey is called ascension.
Well, that was very nicely put it on the words and described. If we thinking about the human being, how we have born it here and what we are all about, you said already that okay, we are not just a sack of bones, we are also spirits. So how do you define human being? What is it, and how we can develop in this life, and how do you define human being? And let's start from there.
Okay, human being. Okay, let's say this is physical plane.
Yes.
And there, the energy is like energy belongs to metaphysical plane. Means that we don't see physical body out there, but here on earth we see each other by by our physical eyes, or we hear by our physical ears, and we feel like when you touch a stone it's very hot, and this is a five sense. This is one of five senses. So you have seeing, hearing, feeling, and tasting and smelling.
Yes.
And these are physical senses that our body is functioning in that way. But your spirit, when you are a spirit, you don't have a body, so you don't have these five senses. Instead, you have, as a spirit, the sense, like you can feel the vibration directly. So this is the difference between a human being and a spirit, which means that you don't have a physical body.
When you say that we, as a spirit, we have that kind of sense to feel our vibrations and so on, does it have a name, this skill, this ability? Is it a sensitivity?
Yeah, in European countries they say they don't have the word for psychic senses that we call them, and so I call them sensitivity here. But I originally was taught they are psychic senses, but some people say extrasensory perception, and some people say sixth senses sense.
Yes.
So yeah, it depends how you want to call.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, but definitely, this is not something too special. This is like a special ability every spirit has because it's innate and it's original. It's a vibration, so sensing the vibration. So this is any spirit has because they are energy. They are energy, so they perceive outside or some other being by vibration, not by seeing or hearing or feeling.
Well, actually, also in Europeans say that we can have a seeing and hearing and sensing in same ability. And well, this is, I guess, what you are talking about is that in this sensitivity still it's included those seeing and hearing and even feeling. So, but this is not pointing to getting vibrations from the physical plane, but our spiritual level where rest of us will be located.
Yes. Okay. So this is like a radio or TV channel or the smartphone. It's vibration. So if you are attuned to physical vibration or frequency, then you will see only physical thing. And if you are like, if your brain accept, okay, there is something there that I don't see, but there is something, like any kind of radio wave or any kind of wave or any energy you cannot see, but it exists. So if you don't see, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Yeah, we don't see love, but it does exist.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and we don't see thoughts or emotions, but they exist, and actually they have certain frequency. They are vibrating. That's why we can feel each other. Okay, so this person is feeling very angry today, and you'd feel some tension from this person, and you might feel like I am also a bit angry because this person feels angry. Or when you see someone who has very nice vibration or nice feeling, then you'd feel you are very relaxed, and that's the vibration does. So we are all each other feeling one another, and that is a natural thing, but we don't see.
Yes, indeed. So it can be said that humans are like instruments which can be tuned to the different frequency that we see different programs.
Yes. Isn't this interesting? For example, cats and dogs have different possible hearing scale. So they can hear something that we human beings don't hear. And some animals can see, or some animals can contact each other, communicate with each other, not by seeing or hearing, but some information, energy going on. So some bugs and like animal like whales, they do each other, and that's kind of thing that we all do. And we have collective consciousness, which can be quite, how to say, it's also another part of oneness. It's like when you have some kind of emotion or the thoughts, it can make some collective energy or collective consciousness. So we all, for example, your country might have some kind of mentality and feelings about nature, and you always feel so relaxed when you are in nature. Of course, Japanese people do, and everyone does it. But it's like collectively you have some sort of the vibration and the feelings that are common in everyone. For example, in Finland and in Japan or in any other country. So these are all different levels of vibration, and we are collective being of those different vibrations. So one person might have or might be in different frequency. When you are in a good mood and when you are bad mood, you have different frequency. You have different energies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, when we are talking about collective consciousness, as you described that, well, in every nation might have its own what has built it to them. But when you're talking about just between two persons, you and I, do we make some kind of form of collective consciousness between us?
Yes. When, for example, if when we attune to something like a oneness, we share those consciousness together because we are both connecting to oneness now and like tuning into oneness consciousness. So when we are talking, there is something going on in this way and also this way. Like on the earth, we are talking and we are sharing information and we are sharing our awareness and findings. And in the oneness consciousness means that the higher consciousness that we are also sharing those information in those level as well, not only talking.
Yes.
Let's talk about a little bit this what you mentioned, higher consciousness. We all know that we all have a daily consciousness, what we are using when we are acting and working in everyday life. But we also are not just our daily consciousness. So what is higher consciousness?
Okay. The terms higher consciousness or higher self and lower consciousness or lower self. So our physical being also needs to have consciousness, which is lower self or lower consciousness, and or physical consciousness, whatever you call. And this spirit consciousness is spiritual consciousness and a higher consciousness or a higher self. So we live in both ways. Of course, when you do something like a daily, you are not probably tuning into your spiritual consciousness, but still it's working and it's functioning, but it's not in the front. But when you are tuned to your higher self or spiritual self or what is my life purpose, what is my ability, and what do I have, for example, did I live many times or do I have those past life?
Yeah.
Then these questions are coming from this higher consciousness, trying to say to lower consciousness, okay, you have something more. You might be something that is beyond this daily consciousness or daily life. So not only working and going home and living and like this, you have something to achieve or you have some purpose or goal for this life. Everyone has one or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends.
Well, if we are talking about higher consciousness, is it a separate being from us, or is it part of us?
Yeah, part of us. Let's say we are part of the whole.
Yeah.
So we are part of the higher consciousness as well. So it's like we have our lower vibration and we have higher vibration. And when you look at this higher consciousness, you can go up to the source. Because I explained this source.
Yes.
And this division after division, we are here and we are connected actually, because we are the part of the whole and we are one of the whole. So this means that you have this connection to the source.
Yeah.
This is higher higher
It's
consciousness.
Kind of gatekeeper to the souls.
Yeah.
For us.
Yes. Yeah.
So I have also heard people saying that this higher consciousness is sometimes giving glimpses for the people to giving advice to how they should work and how they should do in different kind of situation, which is kind of turning points in the life. What do you think about it?
Yeah, often it happens when you are in a very down time or in a very joyful time, like an aha moment. And also sometimes people have got this when they are in a moment to think about their life. All this, those kind of moments, they think, okay, what is life? If you lost somebody you loved, you will think about what is life and why, or does he or does she die? If, for example, your child dies, and you might think like, okay, so why did my child have to die at that early age? All those kind of questions. Or maybe you are working and suddenly you feel like, is this all? Do I have anything? And am I going to finish this life like this? Is this only what I do? And so those kind of questions will lead a person to question more.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? Or where do I go when I die? Or anything, any kind of question can lead the person to question more. And who am I? What can I do? To some people, when they see the world in chaos, what can I do? And what the purpose for all of this? So this question also lead people to question more.
Well, this is very fascinating and interesting about this higher consciousness and its relation with us, because we are not all the time connected to it, at least in that way that we are aware of it. We might be all the time connected, and it gives those glimpses and advices for us without that our daily consciousness actually knows it. And we just have to do something what we are feeling like an inner pressure to do something. Do you think that this is more like a higher consciousness work for us, that when we have to just have to do something, it's not coming from our passions or what we want, but it's something that...
Yeah, we have, let's say, both. Or because your daily consciousness also wants to do something. Yes, but the focus is different, more like to live and to survive in daily life. So this is the focus. And your spiritual consciousness, or the higher self or higher consciousness of yours, it has more focus on spiritual purpose of living. So how do you grow? What do you do to grow more spiritually and do something that you have chosen to do before you are born? So they have different focus because they have different functions. Your body or the physical consciousness needs to survive to achieve the goal for spirit, to to make it possible to live its purpose. So this body needs to be safe and it needs to live because you were born to do something. Yeah, not only just if you do not need to be born in body, then you don't need to come here. So if you have a physical body, it means that you chose to do something on earth in the body, physical body. So this reality and the body is also important because it's a vehicle or temple of a spirit to live this life.
Yes, indeed.
And if you're thinking about human consciousness, and we are actually containing many kind of consciousness states. We have our dream state, we have our daily consciousness, we have our higher consciousness, and unconscious parts as well. So what kind of role or purpose you have found about those other kind of consciousness states what we have? Example, dream consciousness. What is it all about?
It's like okay, so you have consciousness, conscious, let's say conscious mind, and you have a subconscious mind, which is a memory of your being.
Yes.
So it's like a memory bank, and you have this subconsciousness. You can say this is a spiritual consciousness. So this subconsciousness, where dreams are seen, this is like a middle part of those three sections of consciousness. So when you have this spiritual consciousness, it's energy, and it can send some energy into this subconsciousness. Means that this is a memory bank, and it can give you the pictures or the sounds or feelings in memory bank, using the memories that you have in this life and send it to conscious mind to realize, I had this memory before, and I feel I need to do this, or I feel now I need to think more or to pursue more. It's like your spiritual consciousness sends energy of like a spiritual eagerness or desire to search more or go deeper kind of vibration, and in this subconscious mind you have a lot of memories. So these are used to send messages to your conscious mind, so that you realize, this is something I need to go.
So if we are talking about this memory, what comes to our subconsciousness, is it containing just information from this life or from previous lives as well?
A subconscious mind is a memory bank. It's about this life.
Yes, I thought so.
So when you are born, you start hearing, you start seeing, and you start feeling, and you start tasting and smelling. So you have those memories in your head, brain. So this is a memory bank. So when you see past lives, that means that you feel some energies there, like information comes as energy form, and your subconscious mind translates these energies into something you know already in this life. So you don't see something you haven't seen, but you translate this information in your brain into something that you can understand. So memory bank has its function to refer those informations to say something deeper.
And when we're talking about like a consciousness, what we have in our dreams, does it contain? Does it come from subconsciousness, or is it something more than just that?
Dreams have mainly, let's say, three sections. Dreams can be quite strange and funny sometimes. When you are, probably sleeping near a stream, or maybe you want to go to the toilet, and then you might see a dream of streaming coming, or the shower is coming, or you might want to go to the toilet in a dream. So this is about dreaming is about where you are now and what you are doing, or what kind of situation you are now. So it belongs to this current situation. And second one is about like a subconscious is kind of a connection. So everyone is connected to, how to say, everyone is a spirit, and then everyone is has its consciousness. So at energy level, we are kind of connected to each other.
Yes.
So you can have some dreams, such as sometimes you visit someone and you know before she does something or he does something, so that then when you wake up, you know where she or he is or how he is. Sometimes you have this visitor in your dream, and you speak with someone, and you have some sort of like a deja vu, or what is this? What do you say? Before you know what is going to happen. So this is like a subconscious level.
Yeah.
And but not those two sections. You have also the higher layer. In this kind of dream state, you can come out of body and you become a spirit, and you can go to actually wherever you want, or wherever you want to learn something or to do something. So in this level, you might meet your spirit guide, or you might see your past life, or you might see like ET friends. You might learn something in a spirit world that is relevant to this life. Maybe you rehearse something before you go to like a work interview. You might have rehearsal because you want to do good. So if this helps that person to grow spiritually, then it can be possible that this person sees beforehand how it's going to be like, and then he can prepare for that.
Nowadays we are talking quite much about those so-called lucid dreams, that we are kind of aware of ourselves in the dream. What do you think about it? Is it belonging to subconscious level dreaming or higher self, higher level of?
I think it depends on what content of.
Example like that, it can be that well, you are suddenly wake up and you see the surrounding around you, and you notice that, okay, this is not my room, this is not my bed, and actually, well, interesting, but I can feel my body in the bed. So where I am?
Yes, in that state, I don't know how to call that, if it's lucid or anything, but this is your spirit consciousness realizing your body is there, but its spiritual consciousness means that you are now in a spirit mode.
Yes.
And physical body is now sleeping, resting, and the brain is now sorting out all the information that has during the day. So the body is resting, but the spirit is now awakening. Like spirit is 24-hour hard worker, so it doesn't have to rest, and so it can come out of body. So I think you are calling lucid dreams. I think this will be, to my understanding, that should be out of body experience. So when you are out of body, you become a spirit consciousness.
Yes.
So it's not limited by physical physics. Physical conditions. So when you are in physical body, you have to take train to go somewhere, or you have to walk, or you have to drive. But when you are in a spirit, you don't have to, because when you feel like, okay, I'm in Tokyo, for example. My consciousness, my spirit can go to Tokyo immediately. And this is a natural way of spirit being.
And travel.
Yeah. And so it's very different from physical consciousness. Spirit consciousness travels like a speed of light, or maybe faster than the
Speed of thought.
Yeah, speed of light or thought, and then it can travel anywhere it wants. So you can go to space, or you can go to somewhere else to do something.
Yeah.
I have a lot of experiences going somewhere to help somebody or do something in a spirit realm.
Let's talk about something else which also belongs in this consciousness and developing yourself. As we all know that sometimes it's hard to be here in a physical realm and face all those circumstances what we have to go through, and from the very beginning we will have a new companion when we are growing from the child, and it's called ego. And this might be sometimes causing a little bit gray hair when you try to work with that. What do you think about ego? What is purpose for it?
Yeah, ego actually, in my understanding, that is lower self-consciousness. So it needs to survive, and it needs to be like it needs to alive. And the purpose of this is to live, survive, to save the life from destruction. So it's also useful, and also it's very necessary. When you are born, you can't just be like a spirit, because you have something to do. First, you need to grow physically so that you can live in the body.
Yes.
So this is physical consciousness, and this physical consciousness grows and learn how to be in this society, or how to live in the world. So this part is quite necessary. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to grow more, because we need to go through those times when we grow physically and do everything and as a human being. So that's the way how we live and grow and are born from the first place. Then afterwards, it depends what year or what kind of age you have this kind of thing in you, questioning more who you are or what you can do and what is this life about. It depends on person, and it depends on individual what kind of question when they have and where.
Yes.
But anyway, we have those times we question about ourselves, and soon we search for answers. So this search, like we say, soul search, this leads you to be who you are really, and what you are born for. So this is a journey that we all need to take, and to be able to search for higher meaning of life, or the true meaning of life, or purpose of life, we need to grow first with this ego, because this ego can protect you from destruction.
Yes.
So to live on the earth, and we need to, because we chose to grow by living on earth. So to live on earth, you need physical body to live in. So this is kind of a part of our journey that we chose to have.
Well, yeah, definitely it is part of, and it is protecting us, and it's actually it might be so that it's creating our first image about ourselves, what we are, and describing us.
It's like a nest.
Yeah.
It's like a nest for a bird to grow and to fly away. So nest is important for the part at the beginning, and later you will no need of this nest anymore because you are out of that. But do you say, or would you say, the nest is more important than the bird? Not.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess not.
So nest is important as it gives the place for a bird to be born and to grow. And later the bird will no need of this nest.
Yeah, indeed. Somehow I have realized that in our world, if we are thinking about world leaders, they have chosen the most egoistic persons to. I don't know how this will serve to human trip for to the spirituality, but well, I guess it does something.
We have to see spirits, of course our values are equal, but we are in a different evolutional stages, so to speak. So
we are talking about kind of evolution of the spirit.
exactly, and there are different stages
Yes.
of evolution, and okay, so mature soul, we have different ages. I don't go through everything,
Yeah.
but we have mature soul, and now I want to talk about old soul, so both of them.
Yeah.
So mature souls, they need to build up their ego so that they can feel power, they can feel like a popularity or have a reputation or the like property or the money or everything,
Yeah.
so that they can feel I'm important person.
Yes.
I'm a leader, or I'm a politician, or I'm someone, and then look at me and please love me, or you know, please obey me, or
Yeah.
kind of things. And that is okay from the view. When we see the oneness, we have all different evolution of souls, and when they are in that mature level, they need to build up their ego. And then when you become older in spirit or in soul consciousness, then you start to eliminate ego self, so that they will start look at world. Hey, these people are starving. These people are in danger, or these, existence are in some kind of troubles. So what can I do, and what shall we do? And so we have to be cooperative. We have to help each other. So this is old souls' desire. To eliminate,
Compassion.
compassion, and also not only compassion, but they need to do something for others, because they start seeing other people,
Yes.
not only yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the evolution of consciousness. So many old spirits or old souls have its frustration or conflict. Because they feel they are old enough to see things in spiritual eyes, but the reality doesn't match that consciousness. So there is confliction and frustration. So for old souls, this is a lesson also to understand, okay, what is all about? What is this? And why is it so? So old souls have motivation to search deeper or broader. So what is the real reality? Not only in the physical level, what is this reality in metaphysical level? What is the purpose of our being? What is the purpose of human being here on earth doing good and bad? So what is good and bad? So this is all about learning. When you have like the person who try to destroy other tribes or the country, then we all learn we cannot do that. We have to live together and we have to help each other. Why do we do such stupid thing each other and kill each other? So that's a lesson for all of, I think, also old souls to be aware of its evolutional stages and the difference of consciousness.
Yes.
So that then we can work together and we can do something. And that's the reason why we are here, in my understanding, in my awareness. So this, but actually this understanding about different stages of consciousness, like evolution of consciousness, can help you understand that so they are also learning their lessons. They need to go through those moments to say, yes, I'm powerful, I'm loved, or I'm popular, or I have good reputation, or I'm rich. Those kind of things are needed for that process. So that level they need to build up so that they can start eliminating. It's like different focus of living.
Ego usual also defining for ourselves that limits what we are, what we can do. But when we thinking about ourselves as a spirit, are we free from demands of ego or?
Exactly. Our physical consciousness is ego. Can say you cannot do much, or you can't do, or you can create such a world which the higher consciousness is dreaming about or planning about. But this is our human consciousness says, because it has limitation actually. The body is a limitation, and we have limited body, limited life, so limited time. So this is natural that the lower self or lower consciousness or physical consciousness or the ego says it's limited, you can't do that because its function, we can remember that this is the function lower self has, is to survive and to live and to make it alive, body. So of course it has limitation, and your human self can say this is a boundary, you cannot go beyond that. But actually your spirit is already beyond this physical consciousness, so there is a conflict. And so this is the thing that I think as spiritual oriented people feel often, like frustrated or limited kind of things.
Yeah, it must be so. And when you thought about this metaphor about nest and bird, and how this nest is about our ego, and bird is actually this development what we have, and so what is most important thing. So what will be our next step when we are thinking about that we are ready to leave our nest? What we should do, how we can do it?
Good question. Yes, all right. This means that then there is still nest there, but you are free from that nest. So whether you come back to the nest or not, it's up to you, and it's okay to come back because you are also the daily being, not only spiritual being, but your physical being as well. So you go to, how to say, it's like you live in the same, the two different realms, so to speak, and you go to physical level and you go to spiritual level, but still there are two layers functioning at the same time. But your focus is going to lower, and sometimes your focus is going spiritual.
So, and actually to live in two different realms in same time, you need develop your consciousness mind that which accepts those two different worlds and build those as a one picture. Because usually we are living in a world of dualism, that we are putting everything in two different parts, dividing like a good or bad, spiritual and material, and plus and minus and so on. So actually we have to see a whole picture where everything, both sides of coins exist.
Exactly. Go in the middle.
Yes.
And balance yourself. It's like a towel. You cannot, your body is like an anchor for your spirit to live in this life and to achieve the goals that you chose to. So it's like both things needed. So why people deny its reality? If it's unnecessary, then we wouldn't be here. We don't have to be born.
And when we are developing ourselves as a spirit and our worldview is changing to more spiritual direction, what is the role of ego then? Do we still need it, or is it something that we have to evaluate it again?
Yes, ego, I think it depends on definition of ego. I might say physical consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah, and this also has various colors, like a scale. Or yeah, so if you are too selfish, then you will have that kind of outcome and that kind of relationship that doesn't satisfy you. So you are responsible for that outcome by your action and emotions. I think when your physical consciousness says like I need to rest and I need to go to toilet, I need to go to eat, I need to eat, or I need to do something, and I go to work. It's not bad at all. Actually, it's necessary to live. So acceptance of our being is very important. And some people might say this reality isn't important, or the physical reality is illusion. If so, we wouldn't be here.
I have heard that so many times that people think about that it is just an illusion, but well, it feels quite concretical to me. But idea about it that this is everything, that might be illusion.
This.
Yeah,
This is
you
not
don't
just
have to say this is everything.
Yes,
because there
this is part of
something
it.
beyond. Yeah, part of it. Yes, exactly. So that's very important to see things in neutral and like a, how to say? It's too extreme to say this is illusion because it's not. And if it's illusion and have any no meaning, then it's a waste of time of being here.
Yeah.
And that's really, for me, it sounds like escapism, to be honest.
Unfortunately, it might be so.
Yeah.
Thing is that when we are living here, there is always purpose to come here. we choose to come right now here, perhaps because our personal journey is on the beginning, and we need to find out that this is perfect place to realize that there is something else than just this that we see, tasting, smelling, and hearing. Because my ego, my society, and this government and all world saying this is just what we have and nothing else. But well, if you are a little bit rebellion,
Yeah.
you might say that I don't believe
I am.
you.
I am.
Me too. But so the thing is that in kind of we are still living a world of Maya, which means world of illusions, because mostly those things what we are believing from this world based on illusions, and we sometimes thinking also about from ourselves that those skills what we have defining us, those knowledge what we have defining us, those physical things that like how do you look like, or they defining us. But do they defining us, or is it just a part of that Maya that we have to realize that we can change our thinking about ourselves, that we are not prisoners of our mind who has said that are we able to do that or not, are we able to, example, well, as you said, and you're teaching about this clairvoyance, people say that we are not capable of that, but at the same time, are we prisoners of our mind who says that? Are we prisoner of mind who fears to change?
Yeah. There's fear of change and a fear of seeing, fear of hearing, and a fear of feeling. Because I used to have those fears. Because your mind can say like maybe that's not really weird, or that's not that might cause problem, or your mind can tell something like when you have a movie or scary movie or horror movie, you have this condition like any kind of being which cannot be seen by eyes will be evil. If you have this kind of condition, then when you feel something or some energy that you cannot see from your physical eyes, then you will be frightened because you think they will be very scary being.
Yes, and as I working in a mental hospital, I have seen so many times people that they are stuck in their situation in that way, that they believe from their self that they are not worthy, they are not capable to do something. They are just putting those thoughts which is saying no, 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 and they are prisoner of their mind. So when we are thinking about that, are we able to do something? This is what I mean that it's more like a world of Maya, that we are believing those things which dragging us down.
I think so. So that's why we need to wake up and we need to know what we are really, what kind of beings we are. And of course in human lives, this is a purpose here, that for spirits to live human lives, so that we can know all about human life. So this is the big kind of purpose of being here. And also everyone is in a process of evolution and in consciousness. So like when you are when you go somewhere, like when you climb, or you're going down to the okay, from which order shall I start? When you are, if you think of a valley, and when you go first, and you go up, and you know where is the bottom, and when you are going up and up, you know how the route was like here, because you are already here. So this is like somebody is in the bottom or somebody is in the hole. You can say, okay, I was first there, and you can climb up in this way, so that you don't have to be in a hole all the time. You can come up and you can climb up. So the person who goes earlier can advise or guide the person who comes later. And this is like a helping each other, but they are in different stages of consciousness, because the experiences are different.
Yes.
So this is like what I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I lost the point.
No problem,
Yeah.
no problem. When we are a little bit touching now about this, what you are teaching, like skills of abilities of clairvoyance and so on, then we are talking about to have a more perception from the world where we are living. And well, it sounds to me that there is also kind of evolution going on, not just in consciousness, but also what you perceive and what you can perceive from the world. That because there has been always people who, example, claims that they have ability to see energies of the nature and so on. And well, in my eyes, they look like that they have taken another step in the evolution of the perception. So, what do you think about it? That, is it belonging to? Is it belonging to every people? This kind of development to perception of the seeing things around us.
Different ways. It depends. It depends on person's purpose, and also person's structure that they chose to have for this life. So some people are spiritually oriented, and they choose to or chose to have those senses already open, and some people chose to train it to be open, and some people chose not to train or open, so that they can focus on earthly things only. And this is also important for them to focus on their purpose when they are learning something, physically, and they want to focus on physical stuff. So that they don't have to have those senses so keen. So that it helps them also to close down and to do things that they need to do on daily level, and it's all right. So for some people, maybe they don't need to train themselves to see beyond or feel beyond or hear beyond, because that's not their purpose and that's not their focus.
Yeah.
So everyone has got free will, and then we choose what kind of life we have, so that we can grow, in some way. So, but I can say, when you are interested in this kind of like metaphysical or the energetical level or the clairvoyance or those skills, then that means that means that they have those abilities and they have those structure already, because this is the sign for them to say, okay, I'm interested, so that I will search. If they don't have interest, that means that they don't need to. So I don't feel like it's all right. To see, you need to at least know your brain and probably needs to accept the possibility of seeing. Yeah, because if you think, no, I don't see anything, then your brain chooses not to catch the vibration, which is very subtle, to see or to have an image in your brain from the vibration. So if your brain says, no, I don't want to see, then in most cases you don't need to see.
Yeah, I guess so. And well, how we can miss something what we are know that it exists, but when we know something that it exists, then we can miss that, and sometimes this missing of longing something will bring it to us.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Luckily, maybe I have a lot of experiences which is kind of unexplainable in a normal way in my life. Many experiences. I know that you have many experiences as such, and that makes me feel not only eyes can see is real. So for me, the energy level is also reality, because it's really related to my life, physical life as well.
Yes.
So it's like once one scientist actually said to me that I do not believe something, I forgot the word. But basically, what he says was that he doesn't see things, so that he doesn't believe. And it was so funny for me, because I see or I feel and I experience things at energy level, so that this is for me real. And when I was 20 years old, I saw those particles going very fast around me, and it was energy. And these are little particles that goes very fast. Of course, I knew that this isn't something that my physical eyes are seeing. And I was like, what are they? And why do people have these kind of light behind?
Yes.
And why do I realize someone's thoughts before they say something? And why some people say, thank you so much, you saved my life, or something kind of things. So those things, the experiences led me to realize, okay, there is something beyond. I was saved by a voice saying, slowly. So I didn't put accelerator on, so that I was saved by a possible car crash.
Okay.
And also when my father was driving in like a 100 meter by hour, kilometer by hour. Yeah, I was sleeping in a car, but I woke up by my voice screaming, dangerous. And I woke up by my voice. And my father was trying to change the lane, but he went back. So that he had this, from that angle, there was a car trying to overcome, and then it went. And he said, thank you for saying that, otherwise we would be in trouble. So at that moment I asked to myself, who was that? I was sleeping. I didn't know anything about it. And this was a very big car and a very you can hear nothing because the car is very, how to say, it's German car, so it was very good quality.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't hear anything outside. Of course, I was sleeping, and then I didn't know. Me consciously didn't know what's going on outside the car. It was midnight. So of course I didn't see in a mirror that the car was coming. I didn't see in a front mirror that car was coming. So this is those moments I felt like okay, so there is some level of me or somebody who knows better than my conscious self knows. And I didn't.
Thanks God for that.
Yeah, yes. I had many experiences to tell.
I believe you have.
Yeah, and so for me it's real. So because I'm always helped by those unseen things or unseen beings. You know, I always feel it, and it makes me. It keeps me in safe place, and all the time it leads me to where I need to be, and life is like that always. So I do not think, or I don't believe that those are just my illusion.
Well, you are here right now. It tells something that I'm also in the right path.
Yes,
because I met you and I could do this interview. And now people from there can also enjoy of our conversation and perhaps picking up something what resonate to them. And this what we are doing here. We are kind of messengers, all of us.
Yes, everyone can be a messenger. Yes, to somebody.
Yes.
Yeah. So let us all be connected and being in tune to our true selves, so that we will be able to live the life fully, to full extent, and that is the most important thing for us to grow.
Remi Kanai, it has been huge pleasure for me. Finally, I could have an interview for a topic which has been so beloved to me. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope that my English
is better than mine.
Hello, I am Remi Kanai. I'm a healer, trainer and lecturer for metaphysics, sensitivity and healing. Here is beautiful Oneness by the sea. I'm looking at this beautiful sea. I'm very calm and peaceful and serene in this place. Even wind blows quite strongly. And this is very hot summer, and I enjoy even this hot summer here in Finland, which is very unusual to my understanding. So this time I'm going to offer a crystal course and a sensitivity training. And this crystal course you can learn the national insurance covered therapy, which Dr. Margaret Rogers van Coops created when she had Parkinson's disease. Basically, she clinically died, and afterwards she came back with this crystal acupuncture and teragram therapy. So she treated her disease with these crystals and continue teaching her therapy and the training. I am fully qualified to give you training and the qualification that is coming from Oneness Consciousness and Healing Institute, which is qualified under California law. So I would like to see many people in Finland this time again. So I'm very looking forward to seeing you. Nähdään. Bye.